You are now tuned in to Heat Check with Ty Slatter and Antonio Turner, right here on GTA Sports Network. Follow GTA Sports Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as GTA Heat Check, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, GTA Sports, and check out GTASportsNet.com for all things in the world of sports.
Hello, everyone. It's Ty Slatter here.
Antonio Turner.
And welcome to a special edition of GTA Heat Check brought to you by GTA Sports Network. Make sure you follow GTA Sports Network, GTA Heat Check, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to YouTube channel, GTA Sports. And don't forget GTASportsNet.com for all things more sports. I got a very special guest, Pro Style Family, Isaiah York, host, CEO of After the Whistle podcast. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing, man?
I'm doing
good,
great.
Man.
So for our GTA audience that hasn't got a chance to see or hear from you, since you're a new face on the scene, tell me a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, just started up my own podcast, After the Whistle podcast. I got the name. It's kind of funny how I got the name. When I first met you, when I was deciding I wanted to do a podcast, I don't remember at that point if I already had the name or if I was just getting the idea, but I literally came across the name because I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out a name for this sports podcast. He was like, well, bro, just write down a bunch of random names and then just mix and match them and see how you want it. And I was like, I had the idea in my head where when I do have the podcast, I want to have an intro where like a whistle is involved. And he was like, why don't you just call it After the Whistle? I was like, all right, well, that's the name. I'm just going to call it After the Whistle then. And then that's how I got the name. And then, so essentially my podcast is right now, it's just football based because that's where more of my expertise is. But soon I'm going to branch out into the NBA, and I'm going to do college basketball, college football, maybe integrate some MLB, possibly. I don't know. But not only that I'm going to have a YouTube page, and on my YouTube page, I'm going to make highlight reels. So like the highlight reels you can go and watch on YouTube or whatever, I'm going to make those. And then my Instagram page is going to have a lot of like the editing pictures that I have. And that's basically what my Facebook and my Twitter page will be as well.
Okay. All right. So what got you interested in want to make a podcast?
My junior year of high school, it was after football season ended, and my coach was like talking to me. He said, what are your plans, after senior year? Because you're about to be a senior next year. And I looked at him, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I was like, I've always just thought I was going to play football for the rest of my life. And he was like, well, you might want to think about, other options in case football doesn't work out. So I took a summer and just started thinking. I was like, man, what do I want to do? And one thing I noticed is the one thing I've always been passionate about is sitting and talking about sports with people. I've always been passionate about doing it. Like anytime I'm talking about sports with somebody, it always gets into like a bit of a heated discussion because I get passionate about it. And I come with what I think is the knowledge of what I know, and I know what I know. So one day
we literally started the same way, working at LB's bartending. We need something to pass the time.
Yep.
We talk sports the whole shift. So what we did was like, if we could just make it, everybody said we should either get on ESPN or do something with our knowledge of the game. Him being the football guy, me being NBA, and we kind of came somewhere in the middle with it. And we just had to condense an 8-hour shift worth of sports down to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Or divvy it up.
And then
for 2 hours. We went for 2 hours at first. Yeah, so we had to get, people was like, yo, it's good, but it's long. We gotta, we gotta knock that down. So I started knocking into multiple episodes. But
so basically how I figured out what I wanted to do was I was in class and me and a friend were arguing. We were arguing over it was when the Heat had just got Ray Allen. And we was arguing over how that team was basically, I was like, that team is basically a super team. And we was arguing over it. And the teacher was like, she looked at me and she said, Isaiah, have you ever thought about going into like sports broadcasting? And I was like, what's that? And then she started explaining it to me. And I was like, no, I don't really think I'd be into that. She was like, are you sure? She's like, was you not just listening to yourself? She's like, just look into it. And then I looked into it. And then that's when after a while of thinking of it, I was like, I actually do think I want to do this. I was like, this is something that I really like. And then I went to Ball State and I did their, the Sports Link group. and I did their podcast thing. And after doing a couple episodes on their podcast, I was like, I could do this myself better than what they're doing.
Right.
I was like, literally, like I could do this a lot better and be able to create my own content and talk about what I want to talk about and not have to worry about if someone wants to talk about that or not. I can do that my own way. And then that led to me eventually getting in contact with you when I was talking to O'Shea, because I was telling O'Shea, I was like, I want to start a podcast, but I don't know how to go about it. And he was like, I got a friend for you. I'll get him down here and you can talk to him.
Well, for those of y'all that don't know, he's talking about Sly Ross. When he says O'Shea, for those of y'all that don't know, his real name is O'Shea, but Sly Ross, go check out his album on Fat Guy Baby Style now on streaming platforms. But your path is very similar to mine because I went to Ball State. They didn't have the podcasting yet when I was there.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So what year did you go?
That was around 2017, 18.
Yeah.
Maybe 19.
Right. So I would have been class of 2015. So back when I was going, SportsLink, by the time you got there, they already did the merger with CBS Sports. They didn't have that deal yet.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was there, I was in the same boat. I didn't think about doing sports casting when I was there. I was doing radio. I was doing Midnight Souls, R&B, late night.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Radio show there at WCRD for like 4 years. It was late night from like midnight to 2. Well, again, like you said, being able to create your own content, play your own music. So that was my experience at Ball State. I didn't think about doing the sports thing until like way later. And I was like, I wish I had did it because I saw that they got the deal with CBS Sports and it was just crazy. But timing is everything. So the fact that you got the podcasting set up like that is beautiful. It just shows you.
Yeah, it was definitely a good experience. I do appreciate the experience, but after doing it for so long, I was like, man, I'm literally helping them build up their podcast brand when I can literally just build my own. And do it the exact same way, and in my opinion, better. Not to like diss them and say that their program is bad, but I feel like I could do that same thing. And I'm all about sole propriety and sole ownership of what you're doing.
This is exactly what we do here. Being able to create your own. Okay, for instance, we all in this conversation watch ESPN, right?
Yep.
But ESPN, Fox Sports, these analysts can't say what they want to say.
No, it's all scripted.
It's all scripted. They got partnerships, corporate deals. They can't speak their mind. They can't name drop like that. Lawsuits, copyright infringements, you name it.
The only person I feel like gets somewhat of a leeway is Stephen A. That's the only person I feel like gets. But even then, it's kind of teetering the line.
It depends. He makes it look like he has the freedom.
Yeah,
but he still technically doesn't.
He got low.
He got more than most.
Yeah,
he got more than most. Another
sure.
one that's kind of like that is like a Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless can kind of say what he wants here and there.
There you go.
That's why he left ESPN.
Exactly.
Because Fox gave more freedom.
Fox gives you more freedom. So now they still limited. They can't say everything they want to say because Shannon goes as far as he possibly can. He be on the edge.
Yeah, he's on, especially when he brings the liquor and he gets drinking on there.
Huh?
It's especially when he starts bringing the alcohol in there and he starts to drink it. He tethers the line.
Club Chaser?
Absolutely. Club Chaser. Absolutely. You see, he had to make his own podcast separate from the show. For the same reason. Creative freedom. At the end of the day, we're all about the creative freedom and the freedom to be able to, freedom of speech in its truest form. When we come here, we can say we want to go on a rant about anybody from LeBron James on down. We know for a fact we can do that without being a problem. We can name names all day long. But it's just the beauty of independence.
I love it. I really do. That was one of the biggest like motivators for me, is because in my mind I'm like, why spend all this time to try to work for ESPN when I can build my own brand to compete with ESPN? You know what I mean? And anybody can say, well, that's a tall task to go up against. And I was like, but yeah, it is. But in my mind, a dream's not worth dreaming if it ain't big enough. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not going to do it if it ain't hard. If it's not hard, I don't want to do it. I don't want to take the easy route. The easy route would have been go to college, get a 4-year degree, go to ESPN, work my way up, and have my own points where I could talk. That's the easy thing to do.
Right. I agree with that.
What's so funny is, y'all pay close attention to this guy right here. He's going places, and the only reason I know is because this man's brave enough to come on the GTA Sports Network in a New York Jet jersey with the confidence of a player that's no longer a Jet. You brave.
Jamal Adams is not
brave. All right,
He's a great player.
He's a great player. Great player.
I love
no argument
Jamal
there.
I love
No
Jamal.
argument there.
Yeah, I love Jamal Adams.
I love Jamal Adams. And, as sad as I was that he left, I ain't complaining because we got a lot of picks out of it for a safety. For a safety.
You did.
We're not even talking a quarterback. We ain't talking a wide receiver. We talking a box safety. 3 first-round picks and a couple second-round picks. That is insane.
Is like a middle linebacker. Just get 100 sacks again.
Let me start off with that. I mean, I wanted to do NBA so bad, but y'all keep trying to pull me into this NFL conversation.
You started it.
No, he started. He started with that jersey.
With the jersey.
He started it.
We could
But
first.
we want to do that.
It don't matter.
It doesn't. I guess it don't matter.
We got 2 episodes.
We do get 2 episodes.
We got 2 episodes.
All right. So since you got the Jets jersey on, we're gonna do the honor and your special guest. We'll talk about the Jets first. I knew once y'all fired Adam Gase, y'all was in good hands. I said, okay,
Well, that was
the best thing y'all could have done in the last 2 years.
Yeah, it was fired.
Him to
They
begin with.
wouldn't get no piece. They wouldn't get
Y'all wasn't getting nowhere with Adam Gase.
Yeah, I don't know why he got hired.
I don't know why he got hired.
He has not. When they hired him, because anytime we hire any coach, I always go look at like their statistics on what their defense, what kind of defense they ran, what offense they ran, their rankings and all that. And I'm looking at his rankings. Everywhere he has went, he has not had an offense that's been above 26. But he's an offensive guru. No, he was just the guy calling the plays when Peyton was running them. That's all he did. He just called the plays.
Peyton was running the show.
Yeah, he would call the plays and Peyton would change the plays. But the only reason why they hired him is because the owner, Woody Johnson, talked to Peyton and Peyton swore by him. Peyton low-key screwed us. I ain't even gonna lie. Peyton low-key kind of screwed us. He endorsed him. He endorsed Adam Gase to be our head coach.
Where we at right now? You can't say that. You can't say that man's name in vain. You cannot say Peyton.
That is not coming from
that.
And listen, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is my favorite quarterback of all time.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that now.
What you just said didn't sound like love. That sounded like
he endorsed Adam Gase.
Us Colts fans here, we love you for getting us a Super Bowl. You guys, AFC championships. I don't know what this
Listen, I love Peyton. I love Peyton. Peyton is my guy. But I don't appreciate Peyton endorsing Adam Gase. If Peyton was sitting here right now, I'd look at Peyton Manning, I'd be like, so did you really think Adam Gase was that good of a coach? Or did you just say that just to get him a job?
The cameras got cut right there. He said,
Mike's off.
Mike, cut his mic off. Cut his mic.
Cut it off. Cut it off. He's saying his name in vain. Cut it off. Stop the episode.
We're going to go to commercial.
We got to go to commercial in the next 2 minutes, in the next 30 seconds.
No, but in all seriousness, though, I didn't understand that hire. I really didn't.
We agree with Adam Gase. I did not agree with that.
I did not agree with that either.
I did not understand that.
He was hired off the Dolphins, though.
He came from the Dolphins, right?
Yeah, he came from the Dolphins, and they fired him.
Yeah,
they didn't. He didn't walk away. They fired him.
They got rid of Tannehill because of him.
Yes, literally. And look at Tannehill. And that was another thing I was thinking about. Is like you look at every quarterback with Adam Gase. Look at every quarterback after Adam Gase. They improve without
Tannehill.
I like Tannehill coming out of college. I thought he was a little bit on the older side because he was one of the older quarterbacks coming out. But I liked him at Texas A&M. I liked him coming out.
He's an Aggie.
Yeah, I like the prospect of him. But when he went to Adam Gase, it was like,
hey, he might have screwed Sam Darnold too, though.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the thing that's frustrating. It's like Adam Gase ruined Sam so bad that Robert Saleh has to really look at this and think, do I really want him as my quarterback, or do I want Zach Wilson? And I'm saying keep Sam. Because so you're going to sell his fan base on, all right, guys, we're going to get rid of Sam Darnold and we're going to do this all over again with another rookie quarterback and bring him along. Even if our free agency works out to the point where, let's say we get Juju Smith-Schuster, we get Will Fuller, we get this guy, we get this guy. Let's just say in a perfect world. In a perfect world, let's say
I know they got.
The Jets have the second most cap space in the NFL this year.
He's the first person to bring up Juju's name No. We didn't. But no. I'm saying for the Jets though.
Yeah.
We brought it up, but we didn't say. I wouldn't think. I think somebody in the division.
I say that.
Patriots, but it could definitely.
I say that because a couple years ago, Juju had an interview and he said, "I would love to play with Sam again. Sam's been my guy. Sam's always been my guy."
Oh, they played college together.
They played the USC together.
Yeah.
And when they was in USC, they were dynamic. They were amazing together. That is what got Sam to be a highly touted quarterback coming out.
That's why I told him to bring his points because I said he gonna connect some dots. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
No, I knew it. I forgot.
Oh, that changes.
Yeah, like they went to college together.
Juju was a year older or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, he was a year older. And you look at what Juju is as a person, as a personality, with the whole TikTok dancing and all that stuff he did this year. Imagine him in the New York media. That's Odell Beckham 2.0. Tell me
and
it's
the Steelers
not.
are going downhill.
And
the Steelers are going downhill. I don't even know why they're bringing back Ben. In my opinion.
My God!
Well,
thank you.
What choice did they have? Though?
Oh my God! I said the same
there are
thing.
5 quarterbacks in this draft that you can move
when
up
they
to
pick,
get.
When are the Steelers? First of all, the
Steelers are picking like in the
Steelers did so. Here's the problem: the Steelers had arguably the easiest schedule this past season.
That's what everybody.
Yes,
and that's what screwed them. No, I'm saying draft wise, that's what screwed them because they shouldn't have won 11-0. That shouldn't have happened. That was a fluke.
No, I knew that was a fluke.
What was their record? The end of the record.
They ended with like 11-5.
They lost 5 straight.
They went 1-4.
1-4. So they went
12-4.
They went 12.
So here's the thing about this. It's like okay, they had COVID. They had arguably the easiest schedule the first half of the season, and if not the easiest schedule. Period.
They got ramrodded.
So them last 5 games. That was the real Steelers. That was the real team.
That was the real schedule right there.
That was the real team.
They didn't have a choice but to bring Big Ben. They kept strong. They couldn't get enough.
I agree that they had no choice, but if I'm Mike Tomlin, I either trade Big Ben or just be like, look, man, it ain't work out. And then at that point, will you have to pay a pretty price?
Never rebuild.
Yeah, they just
plug in.
That's their issue. They never rebuild. They just plug in and play.
And that's Rooney's fault. That's not even Tomlin's fault. That's Rooney's fault.
That's Rooney. Yeah, that's the same thing with the Patriots. They need to rebuild. Stop plugging.
They are rebuilding.
They have a choice.
They had no choice.
Yeah.
Because
Belichick has to rebuild. Brady made sure when they got rid of Brissett and Jimmy G, you're gonna have to rebuild when I leave. There's not gonna be anything left.
And then
they thought bringing in Cam 1 year. They thought bringing in Cam 1 year could be like a 1-year fix it. Oh, let's bring in a former MVP.
What screwed them was them 8 players in defense that opted out. And COVID didn't.
You know what?
Either.
I'm so glad that we're on this topic because I'm gonna ask you guys this: what are 3 teams that you think this year have to be active in free agency?
Yo, Jets,
Patriots. If they got any money,
they really ain't got a lot.
They do. They
got money, but
who's the other big team with money this year?
The Colts got money. They don't spend it though.
They ain't the one I was thinking.
The Colts don't spend it though.
They ain't the team I'm thinking of.
You know what I'm about to say? Since the report happened about the Chiefs, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was the other one. It was the Jaguars
because they got rid of their tackles. Did you hear that report today?
Yeah.
And Jacksonville, you got to protect now. Your number 1 pick,
Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. You got to protect Trevor Lawrence.
It's so funny that 2 of your guys' picks, because I'm gonna tell you all 3 of mine, and one of them is gonna be a bit of a curveball. One is the Jets, the second one is the Patriots, and the third, the Bengals.
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Listen, the Bengals. The Bengals have always been smart when it comes to free agency.
Somebody need to get on the phone and call AJ Green and tell him it's time to go. Hang it up, G.
Well, don't hang it up. Don't hang up to a contender.
Literally, AJ Green's not coming back. I want to see AJ Green in a Saints uniform with Drew Brees coming back.
No.
He ain't coming back.
Brees is done.
Brees
is out.
You think Brees coming back?
I want him one more year, one more shot, one more.
No,
I'm gonna tell you something. What's not gonna happen? He got a wife and kids.
His wife is gonna put up for that. It's over.
He got punctured lungs.
He's done.
Broken ribs.
It's over.
Look here, huh?
Brady came into the NFC and retired Drew Brees. And Philip Rivers
Literally.
Well, he took the pay cut. He took the vet minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees did. When he started doing that, he was making $30 million.
That's it.
He took a $25 million pay cut.
That's it.
That's usually about it. If he's doing that,
yeah, that's a fair point.
You got a better chance of seeing Russell Wilson in a New Orleans jersey.
I like that.
That's fair. That's fair. Although I wouldn't mind seeing what Jameis Winston can do with a better coach.
That. I want to see it too, but right now
you got Russell Wilson.
Russell's on the table right now.
Yeah, Russell is on the table. If Seattle manages to screw that up, that Pete Carroll has to go.
They're not going to let Pete Carroll go. They're not going to leave.
That, which is insane to me.
They're going to pick the coach over the player right now.
Which is insane to me because you look at Pete Carroll's record before Russell Wilson, you look at Pete Carroll's record with Russell Wilson. It's insane.
Well,
he was irrelevant.
He was irrelevant.
They had one championship
college.
Run.
Yeah, USC.
Yeah, the USC.
Yeah, but as far as NFL, he was irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Yeah, literally. And I just don't understand why they feel the need to want to do that.
You know what it is. Don't come on, man.
Yeah,
you know what that
you're
is.
right. I do know what it is.
In the middle.
I do know what it is.
He wants to go to Seattle.
Seattle, right.
Like, that's not, I mean,
right. It's rainy, it's gloomy, there's no sunshine out there.
The coach and the quarterback. Huh?
What'd you say?
I said the only big draw to go to Seattle was Russ and Pete Carroll.
And the quarterback. Yeah. Because
that's it.
If you look at Seattle's market, who wants to live in Seattle? It's rainy, it's gloomy, there's no sunshine. There's nothing going on in Seattle.
Hey, shout out to Jermaine HD for hanging out.
Hey, shout out to HD. Go get that album, by the way. That album's fire.
Go get that album too while you at it. Where you been on all the platforms? But I'm not going to Seattle. I ain't. That's not my kind of thing. But so
let me tell you why I chose those three teams, right?
Go ahead.
So with the Bengals, Burrow needs some protection. Part of the reason why he tore his ACL is they did not protect him. You need a tackle. ACL? You need a tackle. Now, some of the tackles that I projected them to get have already been traded or franchise tagged, so that's not an option. So you're going to have to go in the draft. So if you're looking at it, the top tackle on this year's board is the kid from Oregon. Yeah. That's going to be a pretty price to pay because the Jets have the number 2 pick, and they're going to ask for a lot for you to get that pick. Yeah. So I don't think that's an option. So, and I don't think he falls farther than 5. He's not going to fall farther than 5. I don't see that happening. So you're going to need to trade. You're going to maybe need to trade up in the mid 15s to get another tackle. They're going to need some tackles. On top of the fact, Carlos Dunlap is gone. You need an edge presence. That defense was terrible. They were the 22nd. They were the 26th ranked defense this year. Sure. It doesn't matter if you improve that offense because you're in a division where you see the Baker Mayfield twice, you see Lamar Jackson twice, and even though Big Ben ain't the quarterback he used to be, you still see him twice.
Hey, their defense gonna be on point.
TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick on that defense.
That's what I'm saying.
Both of them are up for extensions this year, so they're gonna ball out this year on defense.
That's what I'm saying. So you need to improve that defense. You need to improve that offense. I think offensively, as far as skill players goes, they're fine. But they need to improve that offensive line. That offensive line was terrible. I think their 3 needs this year is a tackle, edge rusher, and a linebacker.
Yeah.
A corner, they don't necessarily need a corner just yet. Their corners are fine. But if you can get a Patrick Surtain or you can get a Caleb Farley, take him. If he's there, take him. Take best player available. That's a shutdown corner right there.
I like Joe. I like Joe. I like Joe Burrow. If they go, I would like you said, the Bengals being who they are in the market they're in.
I think they need one more year.
They have no choice. They have no choice to go through the draft and build with him and make sure the timeline matches.
What's their free agent money? They ain't got a lot.
They ain't got a lot. They ain't got a lot to work with. So that's why I'm saying, like anybody. That's why I was saying if they was gonna get somebody,
they super cheap.
They cheap. That's what I'm saying. Like in the next couple of years, they gotta open the checkbook. They have to. Like they just cheap for no reason. And that's why that team has stunk for decades.
They wasted Andy Dalton's best years and AJ Green.
They wasted his best years. They wasted Carson Palmer's best years.
They did.
And I don't want them.
He didn't play.
Yeah, I remember.
They had to trade him.
Literally. I hope that they learn from Andy Dalton and Carson Palmer and they do what's right by Joe Burrow. Because Joe Burrow wanted to go to Cincinnati.
He's from there.
How many people do you know saying, I want to go to Cincinnati? I want to be there. That's almost like whenever we get to the NBA section, RJ Barrett wanted to come to New York.
Not many people was saying that. So, like, when you have a guy that wants to come to a struggling franchise, take care of him. He wants to be here. He wants to win here. He wants to help you and take care of him.
Joe has before the injury, Joe has the talent. I mean, when rookie of the year, him and Justin Herbert was right there.
He was the rookie of the year before he got injured. Justin Herbert won rookie of the year because he got injured. And I love Justin Herbert. But he won rookie of the year because Joe Burrow tore his ACL. Simple and plain. But for the second team with the Patriots, offense. He needs to rebuild that offense.
Quarterback?
Listen, quarterback, wide receiver, everything. I kind of
from the bottom up.
Yes, I felt so
but who
bad.
You think though? What quarterback you think they gonna get?
Who they gonna get? Because you know Belichick gonna want to try to get somebody.
So I think they have three options. I think you either bring back Cam and you get him some help. You either get Alex Smith because Alex Smith is now gone, or
go get Jimmy G back. Go get Jimmy G back.
You bring back.
Go get Jimmy G back. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. There you go. Bring back Jimmy G.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bring him back.
Get Jimmy G back.
They ain't got no training.
You tell Robert Kraft, listen, this was the guy I wanted to begin with anyways. Brady's gone. I want my guy back.
This man will tell you, I was riding with Jimmy G all year when they went to the Super Bowl. Now I didn't say, my disclaimer, I didn't say they was gonna win it. I said Jimmy can get him. I said Jimmy can get you there. I rode with to the wheel stall.
Because you said next to me at the Super Bowl.
To the wheel stall.
They fell off.
They fell off at the halftime.
You was talking the whole time, so fourth quarter. I said Patty gonna show up.
But he showed and proved that whole season. Nobody said the Niners were going to the Super Bowl. Nobody seen that coming.
I didn't see that coming either.
Well, they knew Patrick was going. They didn't know the Niners was going to make it.
The only problem with Jimmy G
because that year,
pray for Jimmy G.
The quarterback. I'm not losing my quarterback for nothing. Like if New England's going to make a move for a quarterback, I think the more realistic option is either going to be Alex Smith or Cam. Because John, the general manager for the 49ers, did come out and say that Jimmy G's their guy. But I
like him in San Fran.
I like him, but money talks. Money talks. And if the Patriots can offer a deal, they'll get rid of him. Because there's maybe 5 quarterbacks in this league who I feel like are untouchable. Everybody else is good to go. And the only 5 quarterbacks I think are untouchable are Patrick Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. And maybe Josh Allen now. Maybe Josh Allen now.
I'm trading Deshaun Watson to the 49ers for Jimmy G. Now I got a quarterback.
And see, and that's the thing too I'm thinking is because really all these quarterback decisions are going to be based off of what happens with Deshaun Watson. Because depending on where he goes is going to unfold where all these other quarterbacks go. Because I was even thinking maybe the Cowboys aren't paying Dak because they think they might have a shot at getting Deshaun.
But they paid him.
But then they just paid Dak, and I was like, they was just taking their
2 years
time.
later.
2 years later, he should have been paid a long time ago.
They should have paid him.
Got cheaper 2 years
they should have paid him when they paid Ezekiel Elliott.
No, they picked.
Literally, they would have got him cheaper then than what they got him now. Because remember, when he got injured, he led the league in passing yards, touchdowns, and yards per game for at least 5 more weeks after he was injured.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He was that far ahead of everybody else.
So if you would have paid him 2 years ago, you would have got him cheaper than what you got him now. Now you're paying
you would have got him for less than what Seattle paid Russ, and that was like the highest contract at the time.
Literally, before Patty Mahomes said, I'm worth $500 million. And literally, and that's
like 350 of guaranteed.
Literally, and I'm looking at the Cowboys, and I'm like, you would have got him so much cheaper then. Now he gets $75 million this year, and you owe him $126 no matter what. When a couple years ago, that contract would have been a little different. You could have signed them for 30. You could have signed them for maybe 33 a year, 33 a year, $60 million guaranteed, no trade clause, something player team friendly.
He'd be a free agent.
Now it's player friendly, no team friendly. Because he even has a no trade clause. So let's say he gets fed up with Dallas.
Clause too.
Yeah. No, you can't franchise tag. You can't do nothing. Yeah, so if he gets fed up with you, he chooses where he wants to go, which is the same contract that Patrick Mahomes has. He could be like, you know what? I'm sick of playing here. I want to go play somewhere else. Trade me to this team. They can't do nothing about it. And almost 300 of that $500 million is guaranteed.
That's
So
what
even
I'm
if he
saying.
leaves, you owe him $300 million. You can't escape that.
Wow.
Which I love these deals. I love that these players are getting these deals because I hate how
Well, only
owners treat their
quarterbacks.
players.
Only quarterbacks.
Only quarterbacks.
Only
Only
quarterbacks doing
quarterbacks.
that.
Only quarterbacks are doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Patriots offense, they were the 27th ranked offense. They were the 24th ranked red zone offense.